Hey folks, getting ready to launch here on the Susquehanna, right by the beautiful Rockville Bridge in Marysville. I'm gonna lay my leash down there. I actually use that just to help me up from the seat. You know, it's the Rogue Fishing Company drag strap, and I'll pull on that to get my butt up off that seat. The Osprey has that higher seat option. I angle it up. It's actually kind of slanted back, which is really comfortable for me. I'm playing around with this new setup with the stick steer that are set up on these little levers here, so I can remain standing upright. I'm gonna move my my dry bag on my camera here out of the way, and I'm gonna be standing in this area. From that position, I'll have access to the throttle, which is elevated with all these different Yak Attack parts. More Yak Attack parts here to go from the track, which is top loading track, all the way up here to elevate the paddle in 2 places. And what else can I tell you? The motor lift is such that I can pull it up, and it gets up nicely in that up direction. It's really a single motion. So, you know, everything here is optimized for standing up and sight fishing out here for smallmouth. Let's get going. So one thing that's nice about this system is I still have range of rotation to paddle here. Not a lot, but enough, and I can still operate the foot control steering from the seated position. It doesn't cancel that function out, but that is not why I set this up. So we're gonna go upright with it. Like I said, I'm using the Rogue Fishing Company drag strap to help go upright. Kick my front board out of the way. And yeah, probably gonna throttle down a little bit. Actually, I gotta grab a rod first. I'm gonna start out with this crayfish crankbait, this subsurface. We've seen this before, yeah. Beautiful live target. I'm gonna drop it right across that current seam there. See if anyone's home. About to cross over the current seam. We're gonna steer into it a little bit. Increase power. Yeah, working pretty good. Low because I gotta shoot up through this to get up there. I did have one bite in a little taper up area behind me, just briefly on and off. Alright, I do have faith in this lure, even though I only got one bite on it, but I am going to put it away because I've moved to the side of the river that has a little bit more stain on it. So I'm going to go louder, flashier, go on jackhammer. I'm going to use that gold custom one that I make to look like bluegill. A lot of gold in the bluegill. This one's what, ½ ounce. Fishing it on that Bates El Jefe. Such a nice, forgiving bait caster setup. I got a little bit of a tangle issue there. the net always has to be clear coming up. The river's not. With this chunker that liked the jackhammer, the custom jack, bluegill jackhammer. Right. Nice little chunk to start the day. And I'm just backsliding down through here. I've lifted the motor so I have no surprises, but I am dropping down. Alright, I think I'm in deeper water. I reach down, put that motor back down, power up. And, nope. Oh, are you kidding? He picked it up off the bottom. That was weird. Kill my momentum downstream and then keep working this eddy. I can't believe you just picked it up on the bottom. Maybe that's telling me something. Alright, I had that one hit on the jackhammer that has this. This is a trailer. It's the center jerk shad and redfish toad. Might as well just give it a shot. Put it in the area where that one was. We wanted to pick that jackhammer up off the bottom. It's funny. Alright, no takers on the dead stick scented jerk shad. I'm actually gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna take the jackhammer off and put on a spinnerbait. One for a bit. I'm gonna take that one off. And for this one, it's got like white, chartreuse, and blue. You know, color matters when it matters. All right, we've pulled down into some calmer water, and when you do that, you kind of want your power fishing presentation to calm down a little bit too. That's why I'm giving this a try. It's the stealth blade. You can see that blade is clear, and it's just got a little bit less thump than the regular jackhammer. I want you to look up upstream. It's not overcast today. It's not particularly humid. It's smoky. Looking up this valley, that is the Canadian wildfires blowing all its smoke. I should be able to see parts of Harrisburg from here. I cannot. It's an air quality orange day today. Should be out here, but I am wanting to go fishing. Here I am in the smoke. Cast in with the stealth blade. I got bit on that current seam. He didn't take it all the way down, but I watched him come out and smack it. We're gonna get into these bridge pilings here in a minute. A lot of current seams on the bridge pilings. So I'm not fishing well. Not fishing well. I'm missing them. I just missed one there. I'm back on the crankbait. I think part of it is these fish are tentative. These these fish are stung a lot, and they just messed with it. That one just messed with it. I think I've had 5 fish that have hit it and not been poked. I also think this whole standing up thing is really cool, but not for today's conditions, and I'm forcing it a little bit. And I don't, if you ever see me fish on someone's, what do you want? I'll pick this up here in a minute. All right, done with the phone call. I just fish better sitting most of the time. The right conditions for this upright position are when this river gets super low and clear, and it's not. I mean, it's got good flow right now. These grass islands behind me are, have a good bit of water on them, and I think, especially with this wind coming up, I got the south breeze coming up this way, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to do the to stand up in position. I've fought it, and I think I'm learning a lot about this upright position. But I think I'm gonna bring it down for now and just fish the way I know how to fish. So pull all this down, hopefully start catching. Okay, that didn't take very long at all. Let's go catch them up. Crankbait fish. Could I have caught him standing up? I think so, but I didn't. I haven't been catching him standing up. I think it has to do with that I've always fished from the seated position, and on rare occasions I'll stand up and make some casts where it makes sense, and that makes sense for me most of the time, where it's a sight fishing sort of situation. And for me, on this river, it's when the river is low and clear, and it's not, really isn't today. There isn't a lot of rock that it's exposed. There isn't a lot of, a lot of shallow flats. When this river gets down another foot and a half, yeah, then you start seeing that situation. And my mechanics of casting, setting the hook, all of it is better because I practiced it more low. I will come back to this high position seating, I think, when it makes sense. I love how it works. It's been good, but today's not the right day for it. So you look at the grass bed, there's a little patch of it out in front of it. Basically sitting on a ledge, and I'm sitting in slightly deeper water, and I'm casting it down to where the current is starting to accelerate. All of my better bites today have come casting into that water that's already speeding up and bringing it back up into the calmer deeper water on the upstream side of that acceleration of current. They hang out at the back of it where it starts tapering up. The last one was in a smaller version of that. The first one I caught was in that, and a lot of the other good bites that I got didn't land are from the same kind of accelerating water that's speeding up all summer long. Accelerating water. So I'm just working along the entire ledge. I'm sitting in the trench, you know, right where that grass bed was. The top of the ledge runs right there all the way to where this mountain is. This mountain kind of creates it. It's the same spine. It makes that ridge. It makes this place where I'm catching fish. So accelerating water. This is me kind of getting sucked down into it. Jumper, really jumping. Why don't you jump into this net? Cool. There you go. Okay, got another one. Right on that acceleration. Let's grab this current. He's acting like he wants to jump. That's a good size fish. I'm gonna loosen this. Loosen my drag. Oh, that's a good one. He has not done a huge run yet, but that's my biggest of the day for sure. In there. Yes! Look at you! Where it speeds up and goes over the ledge. That's where we're eating the craws. So the really challenging part of fishing this accelerating current as it goes over the top of the ledges is keeping your eye on that spine. You can see a little bit of one here, right there, and that drifts out sort of, you can see a little bit more there, but it drifts out into kind of nothing looking water. Well, that nothing looking water is generally deep water, and as we move back down in here, you know, that's the first one we identified. We're going to keep casting across that, and then go to the next one, and then go to the next one. But not out here. This is deep water that's not moving real fast. You want to keep casting, you know, at these little disturbances, because that is the spine of that mountain right there. Like I'm grinding on some of it right now. Found it. So yeah, look at the disturbances and try not to get stuck on the disturbances. I'm on this one. Okay, need the paddle. I'll leverage anything I need. I can. Alright. I'll put this camera down and pick up that fishing rod. Let's look at another one now. Do you see it? The reflection of this island here gives you a little bit of darkness there that shows you there's one going right along there. That goes all the way across there. That's accelerating water. That is what we're looking for. Alright, so I'm setting up my phone to take a selfie, and you've noticed I've changed hats. I got my Team Rain Shadow hat. I've officially been invited to be on Team Rain Shadow, which is Batson Enterprises, their pro staff. And really what that means for me is I'm going to be doing a lot more rod building videos. I've got a couple of them with Kevin Holash, who's actually from Stiffy's Custom Rods. He's got 2 rods that he's building for me right now, but I'm going to order all the blanks, the components, the guides, the reel seats, the handles, the foregrip, all of that stuff, and do rod building videos, really to promote Batson Enterprises products, and in particular their blanks, which is the rain shadow blanks. But they had asked me as part of coming on as pro staff to get a selfie, and I've held on to that smallmouth because he's a real pretty one. I'm going to take a shot for, I guess they do a a biopic, so I'm going to get that today. That was part of the plan today, is to have my Team Rain Shadow hat on. I may keep it on, we'll see. It's a cool hat, look at it. Isn't he pretty? 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. Say bye-bye. So I'm backing up the kayak, and then I'm going to turn. The reason for it, I was well above the ledge line, and now I've backed up, and I can line up my cast with that push water, that accelerating water. You know, if you just sit above it and cast down to it, you intersect it in one place. When you wait for the right boat position to make the cast first, then you snag. No, you know what I'm saying though. You put it in the sweet spot on the whole length of the ledge instead of in just one spot. I get this snag out. Continue on this, but lining up yourself. Lining up. Right now, I'm actually below it, so I can see the top of it right here. It's going that way. We get above it, cast the length of it. You know, that way you're grinding along the entire length of that acceleration. You're not just hitting it in one or two spots. Okay, here I am editing this video, and I don't know that what I've been explaining really drives home the point. I'm going to turn off this audio so you can hear me instead of the window AC unit. I'll get back to the fishing, I will, but I need you to understand this. So, got the Sharpies, got my little mini tripod, got a couple pieces of paper. Let's go. All right, this is my top-down Google Map type representation of where I was. There's a major ledge rapid down here, and later on in the video I catch something big right around there. But these fish are out in this deeper water where you don't really see the kind of ledge rocks that are kind of jutting up out of the water as you get closer to the rapid. It's up in this deeper water where you get little traces of, you know, that disturbance there and there, but somewhere in the middle you may not see it. And really what I'm saying is that you have to not cast at it from here, but wait until you're right parallel with it, and then you're going to cast along the length of it here and here, such that your crankbait is going right along that, which you may not be able to see, but if you study the surface of the water, you'll see what I'm going to illustrate on the next next piece of paper here. But basically, if you come down, say you can see it, and you're positioned here in this is a deep lane, right? This area right in here is all deep, and you're out in the deeper water. And if your cast is like this, down into it, yeah, you're going to intersect it that sweet spot on the upstream side of the ledge in one area. Whereas if you wait until you're even with it, wait, and then you can cast here along the length of the sweet spot, and then here along the length of that sweet spot, that accelerating water before the next ledge. Then you drop down here, you see the next one, and then you do this, and then this. But don't just position here and put it down here and bring it up. You want to go parallel these subtle little ledges. All right, let me mark this one up next, and we're going to see a side view of what I'm talking about. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you, but each of these are ledge rocks that correspond with just a side view of each of these, you know, submerged deep water ledges. And what you see is the current comes down and pushes up, and on the surface you see that little disturbance. If you notice, that's going to be a little bit downstream of where it's going to be. So when you make your cast, what you're going to want to do, you want to intersect with these smallmouth that are on the upstream side of each of these deep water ledges. So you're going to look and see, hey, you see that disturbance there? You're going to go a little bit above it and enter it there and let that thing dig around right in front of that fish. Each time, a little bit above it and grind right in here. A little bit above it, get it down there and get it in front of that fish. A little bit above it, and you just drift down. Whereas if you know, if you're casting not parallel, like that's what we want to do. We want to do parallel to the ledges always, just on the upstream side. If you come here and you put it in and you're always banging around and then coming up from behind them, having a bait present from behind them when they're facing upstream is never as effective as you get it down into this deep water ledge and run it along the side, they turn and they intercept it. Hopefully that helps, along with that, to intercept these deep water ledge summer smallmouth. All right, let's get back to the adventure. You were on that ledge. I don't even think I'll put the net on you. Get in. Oh, all right, maybe you're bigger than I thought. All right, I've worked that ledge line all the way over to this bank. Oh, that's a nice one. And what I was gonna say is, after working some of the wood on this shoreline, I'm gonna loosen you. What I was gonna say is, I'm gonna work my way back across a different ledge in that same system. Once I get this guy corralled. Just let you pull me, let you tire yourself out, dude. Hi, Chunk. Hello, Chunk. Chunk. Get in my net, Chunk. Just gotta tighten up after you loosen up. I like to loosen the drag as they get close. That's where they tend to get off. And when you come back to it, you gotta, I don't say lock it back down, but you gotta, oh, that was weird. What I was saying is, you gotta check it. I think when I took it and got under a log, get in there now, it definitely pulled. Anyhow, there's some bit of irony that, you know, I took my Team Marine Shadow profile pick with a St. Croix rod. I will be switching these out, and it actually starts with, and I got a text from Kevin showing me some of the work he's done on the two blanks I brought him. Really beautiful work. He didn't do I don't think he does real high volume of rods, but I think he really does excellent work. Like, his thread work is good. Everything is clean about it. All right, I gotta get this sucker off with plug knocker. But yeah, one of the blanks that he has is going to replace this rod, which is, you know, been a great rod, but there's little things like the reel seat itself is loosened up. I can't keep anything, you know, can't keep this tightened down all the way ever. It always loosens as I use it, and I gotta get that out. Gotta get that crankbait back. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great rod for me, but it's moderate, medium power. There it comes, and you know, I specifically wanted that one replaced first because it's just tired, and you know, part of it is the reel seat loosens up here, and it's just wobbly, and it makes you feel things that aren't really happening out there, they're happening here. You know, I've replaced some of the guides, and it's just time for a new one. Missing a hook keeper. I don't know. I'll be happy to get the new one, and I'll be showing you guys that rod as it, you know, as I get my hands on it here in a couple days. I think Kevin said we just have to finish up the epoxy and we're ready to go. All right, we got a real strong Class 2 Rapid right below us, and I like this push water a lot. It's accelerating water. When it gets a little tricky, you don't want to get sucked down into it. So I'm going to stay on the throttle, stay above it, and keep chucking this crankbait along the front side of it. I've run it a bunch of times, but I don't think I want to today. Not with that camera still up and everything else sort of loose. Alright, I'm taking this camera down. I'm going to drop down this ledge and we'll fish the Whitewater at the base of it. Alright, let me get this paddle in my lap, put this rod away. I will tell you that this is the gentlest lane to run this rapid, but it's still nothing to be messed with. Alright, let's get the jackhammer back into rotation. At least the stealth blade. I think I meant what I said the first time. I said, let's go full on jackhammer. We got the 7-inch center jerk shaft. We're going to go in real aggressive. If they're in Whitewater, they're already aggressive. So you might as well give them a huge meal to look at. Huge, noisy, flashy, mouthful of Z-Man deliciousness. Most of that ledge, not a bite. When they're actively feeding, that is an eat spot. It is a, it's a place that when they all decide, okay, usually when the river's rising, Dusk and Dawn are also good times to be there. And all that crazy whitewater. And you want to get rowdy with it. You want to get noisy, big, fast. And yeah, you can finesse in there and catch them. But I'm backing away from it because I've worked it. I don't think it's, we definitely didn't have a concentration of fish in there eating. So we'll work my way down the shoreline. There's some other ledges down here. I think eventually I want to play around in some of the grass bed islands down this way. But for now, I'll throw the crankbait at this bank. Some big, heavy, cold drops. I think some of them might have been solid a little further up from here. All right, here's a little clue on where to find the submerged ledge. This rock formation is going to go all the way across, and I can see a line straight across there. Start by hitting this corner pocket. There's another one further down that's a little bit more dominant. All right, I just lost one. He jumped on this one, on this crankbait. Just out of caution, I'm retiring this one for today. I will put new hooks on him when I get home, but I'm pulling a fresh one out that has fresh hooks. Ready to go. I think I'm also gonna take the opportunity to change. You probably can't see that. The leader. I think the leader's in good shape, but the knot just ahead of that has been hitting lots of rocks. So let's swap that out too. Big old jackhammer fish. Ooh. Hot fish. Oh. That's good. Yep, white jackhammer. Just absolutely throwing it into the white water. All right, well that was fun. White jackhammer, white water, big smallmouth. This one went 19 and a half. I'm gonna go ahead and let her back in. And I'm running low on time. I still have a couple more eddies along this huge ledge line that I'm gonna throw the jackhammer at, but it is getting late, so it's been a fun day out here. Alright, I have moved to what I would consider the milder side of this ledge system, and I'm trying to attain upstream. I mean, it was pretty nasty over there. The only way I was doing it is by dragging it over, but I got a couple different stair step places here that I can advance my way up with the motor, with steering, slow, under control, and fishing as I go. Trick is staying in deep enough water. The rock there, and there's one there that would foul me up. So I'm splitting in between the two and advancing upstream. Time to give it full throttle. Up we go. I don't even have to paddle with it. Sometimes I do. That wasn't one of the times. I'm gonna fish these over here. Looks like I'm wrapping it up for the day. Basically, 2 patterns, maybe 3 with this bridge piling fish. What I was going to say, 2 patterns, one thrown into the Whitewater, got the biggest one at 19.5. The other one that got most of them was throwing that crankbait to the water that was just speeding up. You know, you're transitioning from deep water that's slow to, I'm gonna say shallow water, but it was a ledge. You know, water that's accelerating over a ledge rock. You know, it's coming up and then speeding up. And that crankbait, really lots of baits do well in that sort of accelerating water. So take that, helps you catch fish next time you're here on the Susquehanna. Thanks for watching.